Go live. Okay. Hi, everyone. Let me just double check to make sure that we are going live and there is no barriers. How's everyone doing? Yes, and we are live. So right now, majority of you guys know my name. I am Dr. Alice Leon Stevens, and we are here with and Miss Heather.
Heather?
So today, what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk a little about Village of Hope, what exactly that is, and where exactly we're seeing ourselves as a state and as a community moving forward this holiday season, and where we hope Delaware will be able to be as we continue to grow and understand and evaluate the trauma and the barriers that families are facing, especially the displacement communities. So we will start off first with each one of us introducing ourselves. So, Miss Heather, the floor is yours.
My name is Heather. I am the founder of Unseen Warriors. I founded it because I was a single mom, had ended up in a homeless shelter, and just had gone through hard times and realized that not everybody is as persistent as I am, and sometimes people need a little extra help. So, our biggest support system is we act as a support system for single moms who have fallen onto hard times.
Okay. When did you create your company?
It was in early 21. And
Okay.
it's been we're still a little small grassroots, but every community partnership that we've gained, we've just grown a little more each time. And
What
that's
are
why.
some of the activities you have done in the past through Unseen Warriors?
So our biggest thing we're known for is our adopt a mom. We adopt moms various times throughout the year. So Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, Christmas, we've now opened it up to birthdays, and we just remind them how special they are. They're not alone and they're loved. We also help link to community resources because we're so small. We don't provide them. However, we are able to link them with our community partners or ones that we know instead of just being told call 211, which is often the answer for many organizations. And sometimes you just need that hand to hold when you're calling those organizations. So we just act as that partner to the moms, along with we've helped furnish entire houses simply with community donations.
So the community is ready to help. They're ready to invest and advocate for individuals who's facing
Mhm.
barriers.
Yes, we had. There's a very big support system within the community. I belong to a lot of free and buy nothing groups, and the minute I post, the donors come out of the woodwork, and constantly I can spend hours, 3-4 days a week, just driving around collecting donations for different families.
Okay, that sounds wonderful. So, with everything that you are doing in the community and the heart of servicing the community, tell us a little about some when we think of displaced families. Tell us a little as to why you chose displaced families or moms and them, and then as once you're done, then I will be able to go ahead and talk about myself. But why this specific population?
So I chose single moms. I chose Unseen Warriors, the name, because it's somebody whose strength goes unnoticed. So there are so many unseen warriors in our area. But just personally, I resonate with the single moms because I have been a single mom for my children's lives. My oldest is 19, my youngest is 12. So I've been there and I understand it. And that's why I chose to focus more on the single moms. But we love helping everybody.
Okay, so I heard, I'm sorry, I know I said the last one, but I heard you were talking about the word and how it developed, your company Unseen Warriors. And it sounds as if the phrase Unseen Warriors have a lot of weight to it to be able to talk about the strength that those individuals who's going through challenges have,
Mhm.
because every single day they're fighting a battle, they're
Mhm.
trying to be able to keep the family together. So the word warriors is talking about survival and
Yeah.
possibility of living.
Yes. And I call myself the OG warrior. I am the original. I started it because I've been through it. So I haven't been through everything that some of the families that I've worked with have, but I still want to be that support system for them. And I do have a great board that I've been building, and they've been supportive. There, so I also have some behind the scenes ladies that do different things, and some are on boards of other organizations also. So we just have a great team. It's just a group of women who want nothing but to give back to the community and make a change.
Oh, lovely. I appreciate everything you're doing. And why do we want to partner? Why do you want to be able to partner with other organizations?
Partnering with other organizations just simply gives us a better grasp on those in need. I was focused on just single moms in the beginning, and then I realized once I was connected with other organizations that I realized that there was a need within others also. And then sometimes the single moms, it's not just being a single mom that their struggle is. There's addiction issues or homelessness and just a variety of things. So it's just nice to be able to partner with other organizations that will be able to help build each other up.
Oh, lovely. I love it. So, as we're going through, we will talk a little more about the importance of connectiveness and being able to strengthen partnerships overall. So, thank you so much for sharing your input and how you became a contributor to a community that is facing challenges. So now I can go ahead and share a little about my organization. If you have any questions for me, we're taking turns.
I'll
so,
try.
so many individuals know, for me, I am the founder of Holistic Elevation. I created Holistic Elevation in 2017 as a result of challenges that I have seen where when organizations, especially similar services to what I provide, where they are grant funded. And once the funding runs out, the community that is being serviced, it goes MIA because the funding is no longer available. So those communities go back to square one. And going back to square one actually sometimes cause major ripple impact, negative ripple impact, because
Mhm.
those communities either have built trust, they will progress in something has happened, but once the funding runs out, so are the services for those communities. So for me, I created Holistic Elevation as an LLC. Many people think that Holistic Elevation is a nonprofit, but it's actually an LLC underneath the understanding that as an LLC, we're able to add review, so ongoing assessment about community needs. So we're able to ensure that we're not 100% dependent on grants and fundings, and we're able to provide sustainable programs to the communities. So we actually provide an integration. I love integrations. So we provide an integration of prevention and intervention. So just imagine if a person is going through some form of trauma, many times we look at the symptoms they're coming to us with.
Mhm.
But for my organization, we also focus on what was the primary cause that led you to where you are currently. Because if I focus on the symptoms, then 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, even a year down the line, you may end up recycling. And that's why people sometimes are told that they're lifers within treatments because the primary problems are not being identified. So you have the thoughts that are circulating and so many other challenges that's happening. So those individuals are not growing sustainably. So go ahead. Sorry.
So how do you make that happen?
So for me, the way in which I make it happen is to be able to, number one, my company's policy is the one family policy. So any person that comes to my organization, it is mandatory for us to be able to treat them as a member of our family. So if they don't have food, we offer food to them. If they don't have shoes, we offer shoes to them. The very first foundation is to treat each person that walks through as a human being and not as a statistic. So we give love, we give relationship, and we give support when they come in, because the changes and the sustainability does not come in with the therapeutic process. It starts with the therapeutic relationship.
Okay. You, I don't, you like answered all my questions as you were talking.
Oh, okay. So, for holistic elevation, we do mental health and substance use, as well as go into the schools, go into the communities to do presentations, to do professional development. As you can see behind me, when it comes to mental health, if a person has major depression or severe anxiety or any of those challenges, part of it is that mental health impacts the medical component. So, a person with chronic depression, my recommendation very first during the assessment will be to go to a cardiologist to be assessed, and also go to the PCP, because depression, anxiety, it causes major impact, because a person who has anxiety, their heart is pumping way quicker than normal. They're not getting the rest that is needed. So you're having your heart continuously flowing. That is causing panic attacks, can lead to heart attacks and different things. So you go to the doctor. What we found is that those individuals with those major mental health challenges either have a history of diabetes, high blood pressure, congested heart failure, and all the major medical consequences. So we refer them to the medical providers based on the assessments and the trauma in which you're coming to us with.
Wow. As somebody that has mental health issues, that just like resonated so deeply, because I was like, wow, that really makes a lot of sense, because my heart rate's always racing and things like that.
Yes.
So it makes sense. So you focus on the whole picture, not just one little area.
Correct. Because for us, when we think of trauma, we also focus on spirituality. We have clients where they come in from different religious backgrounds. It is not where what is my religious background, but what is the client's belief,
Right.
to be able to help them with the healing. We had individuals who needed to implement, because for some people, they believe that their loved ones will be burnt forever. And that causes a mental health challenge for them, because they're visualizing the ongoing pain of their loved ones, and they cannot live with that pain. Other individuals, it causes family dysfunction, where individuals are not connecting based on religious views or spiritual views. So being able to merge the family in understanding that, so we ourselves as providers have to learn about individuals' religious standpoint, and our services will need, yes, it will be cognitive and other areas, but we need to be able to integrate their spirituality within there if it's necessary and when it's necessary. So when we think of, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, no, no.
So when we think of the whole person, then we're thinking of, we have financial counseling, we have couples counseling, family counseling. We think of everything, but many times spiritual counseling is away from it, but we integrate everything. And also in nutrition, because people don't realize with depression, if you don't eat properly or you have an autoimmune issue, a low iron, anemic, you may have the same symptoms of depression, but it may be led by your nutrition or your diet. So we also evaluate what exactly they come to us with.
That's interesting. Now, do you have an age range that you work with, or is there anything specific?
So we actually work from children age 4 all the way to older. We focus on the entire lifespan,
Wow.
because the reason why we do that is that if a child is going through trauma, then the parents will also need to know how to work with that child, and vice versa. But also the mental health alters based on the age of the individual. So what might be the signs that might look like depression within a child may appear as behavioral challenges, oppositional defiance, ADHD, different symptoms that develops but that is the sign in which a child is showing. These are called symptoms. It will be showing the symptoms of depression, the symptoms of anxiety, and different things, because children are still learning how to articulate and how to express their emotions. And if they are not unknowing or have not been taught how to express their emotions, it comes out with physical symptoms, breaking things, you don't understand what I feel, cutting, so many different things come into that play, because it's the physical symptoms that we see mostly within the children. And
Yep.
then for the teenagers, this is where suicidality comes into play, because they're stuck between the child and the adult world. So that means identification of self. That's where a lot of identity conflicts come into place. Being able to find out how the emotions, the hormones, the imbalance of the hormones are also coming into play. But when you think of depression, anxiety, or the emotions overall, this is where they have that choking sensation and they have that pain, that yearning. They want to come out, but they cannot let it out. So the best solution is for them to cut. Because for some people, this is where having an increase in tattooing, because of the needles and the sharp pain that sends to the brain, it releases that emotions for now. Because many people don't, or teenagers don't want to commit suicide and don't want to be able to cut, but it's a way for them to release the pain, because it's like, I'm telling you, I'm screaming, and they're in that bottle that they're screaming, but the scream is not coming out. And then you have the adult population, where they want to provide for themselves. They have lost their purpose in life, and they're trying to figure out, or never had their purpose in life, and trying to figure out what is that purpose. So for them, it will be different. That's where you might have external depression or internal depression. This is where the strong one comes in. And for some adults, you also have the personality disorders, where they have grown and learned different life experiences. That borderline personality comes into play, narcissistic personality comes into play, and so many others. So if we understand what cloak they or experience they have gone through in life, and what led them to the diagnosis, because diagnosis to me as a trauma expert is nothing more than what life story you have gone through and how it has defined you. So that's for the adults. And then you have the older adults, where for them, their symptoms is, did I fulfill my purpose? What My friends are moving on, my family members are leaving, I am the only one there. I'm looking back, I worked for many years, I don't have anything to account for, I don't have that social support. So their level of purpose comes into play, that, hey, I have so much wisdom, why can't I be used? So it can also lead into depression. It can lead into so many different things. So within our services, we break our services down based on categories of age, and not just general population, because we need to identify what experience each one is going through and where they are in life, to help them in the trauma process. And that helps us in having a higher level of success. And just the last one, but most importantly, what we do is that we to be able to identify what trauma, or where the trauma is coming from, we identify 4 steps or 4 categories how trauma can or mental health can develop. You have the environmental, where, let's say, in the city of Wilmington, children, their loved ones are murdered. They do not
Mhm.
have, some of them don't have buses, so they have to walk the streets, the same place, whether their mother, their sister, or someone have passed away, with the body sighing onto the ground, and they have to go through that. They are fearful that they will be the one next, so they have anxiety starting to develop. They're having all the symptoms of ADHD, because their brain are not resting. They're having nightmares, things are happening. So that's environmental. But if they are removed from the environment, or safety protocols are put in place, then their mental health and those challenges will be reducing, so they can get back to the level of functioning. Then we have situational. A person that let's say I go and get mental health services, and I'm getting all the strategies that is needed, but no one knows that I'm going back home to domestic violence or unhealthy situation, regardless of what interventions are being provided, I am going back into my unhealthy environment, my unhealthy safety, causing whether medication, whatever the case is, it will not be effective because when I'm getting that black eye, the medication cannot come in and help me out. I have to be able to find a way to be able to handle the domestic violence I'm going in. That's whatever is happening within my situation at that time. And then we have certain events. Certain events can be where you hear many times where individuals have lost a loved one suddenly. They went to bed, they never woke up. And that shakes the entire physics. And that in itself can cause a person to go into a spiral of depression where it's difficult to come out. And just imagine baby syndrome. If you shake a baby, that can cause the baby's life. But it's also the same for adults and children, that when something drastic has happened within your life, it shakes your entire world. And
Right.
it can cause your entire DNA to be altered because now you need medication to be able to rebalance because you're just not getting back to functioning. And the medication will be able to help out, but it will be able to help you through that process. And then you have the genetics where individuals, whether it is a result of a family inherited or whether it is an event or led by the sudden event, that if the sudden event is not taken care of, it can lead to genetics because now a person who may have children or families whatsoever can cause more challenges to them because it can be passed on similar to alcohol baby syndromes. So sorry.
No, I love it. You're so full of knowledge, and I just love soaking it all in.
I appreciate that. So now what we can, the next question I have for you is, let us look at with the barriers that families are facing, especially here in Delaware, throughout the nation, focusing on the what are some of the barriers that we see that families are facing. They may be barriers that have developed as a result of the pandemic, or they have developed as a result of situations.
Whew. Um, there's quite a few. I think that one of the biggest barriers is the mindset. I think, sorry, I'm trying to think of how to say it. It's the mindset. And I think we talked about this the other day. It was about the lack mindset. It's overcoming that is probably the biggest thing that I think, even though, because you can get out of the homeless situation and get into a house, but if you're still in that same mindset of survival mode, you're going to fall back into the same old patterns and breaking habits. And I think that's something that the community really needs. They need the togetherness more than just the actual resources that are out there. They need to be able to embrace it as a whole, not just give them the funding for a security deposit and be on their way.
Yeah. So, because part of what, when we look at the pandemic, I like breaking things down, but as a result of the pandemic, individuals face financial issues where they were not able to either have a job or they were not able to be able to maintain. Individuals lost their businesses, they lost the family members. Just imagine you as a child, your family going to the hospital but never coming back.
Right.
And what we found out is that also you had a lot of parents who also lost their jobs because they constantly had to be called to the school because of the increase in behavioral challenges. So with that, that was also one of the other causes of losing their home. So it's not only what were the traditional practices of, hey, lost jobs, extreme poverty, but there's added stress to it. You
Right.
also have increase in single parenting because during the pandemic, living together and the stress that happened did cause family separations as
Mhm.
well. So part of what we also found out is individuals who have medical conditions, they're getting SSDI or SSI, and their income is minimum to what with the
Mhm.
increase in rent, because rent in itself has gone up tremendously. Yes, the policy has recently been passed, but you had families where they were asking three times the cost of rent for them to be able to get a place. You have
Mhm.
individuals that had to be able to stay and be homeless because they
Mhm.
had to choose whether they can eat, provide for their families, or be without a roof.
Mhm.
So there are so many different things that's leading to it. One thing I want individuals viewing this to be able to know is that people do not just come and say, hey, this is what I choose. There are barriers that they're facing. And even for me as a provider, I put myself in the client's shoes, and those places we tell the clients to call, I actually would call and my staff would
Mhm.
call, and the process to be able to get in help is ridiculous. There,
That's what
yeah, go
that's why
ahead.
I created Unseen Warriors to act as that hand. Literally, I explain it as a hand to hold. Sometimes you just need somebody on the phone, and you need that organization to hear that you're not alone. Because when they hear another organization is involved, they hold up a higher standard, versus sometimes they don't provide the services to the level that they should when it's just an individual on their own.
Yeah, exactly. Because also the Mackenzie Veto program, many of the families that some of those I work with, they did not even know the program exists, and that program is there to be able to help students
Mhm.
who are homeless or going through displacement to be able to find a way to and from school. The other challenge I found was that individuals or students and their families who were homeless during the holidays, some of them are
Mhm.
not able to go back to school because they move from
Mhm.
motel to motel, and the families are in survival mode that they go MIA. And we need, as partnership, we need to
Mhm.
increase that protective barriers for
Mhm.
our
For the
kiddos. Yes,
children.
go ahead.
No, I'll be honest. I didn't know that the program existed until I had a friend that had become homeless, and she stayed with me. And the head of the program at the time, she was a dear friend, my son's teacher from years ago, and she taught me about the program, and I learned a lot from
Hmm.
that.
Yes. So as we're going through, why exactly do we need partners? Like it sounds like we're awesome. Why do we need more people?
Because it takes a village.
I agree.
Mhm. Because you
I
can't do
definitely.
everything alone. As like I said, the even our warriors, you have that strength. You get up every day, you do what you have to do, but sometimes you just need somebody to give you that extra support. And
Yeah.
we need that extra support also to give the support to the community. When we band
Mhm.
together, we're able to give as much as possible instead of just limiting to what we have to offer only.
Yes, and if as a community and as a village, if we're able to come together, then we create a new specialty, a
Mhm.
holistic component, because then you become an expert in developing community resources. I continue to
Mhm.
become a expert in understanding trauma and how trauma works
Mhm.
and how it impacts the family. It strengthens us to be able to stay focused within our area of expertise,
Mhm.
but collectively creating a superb bouncing castle
Mhm.
for the children and their families to be able to be
Yes.
around. We are there to be able to help them. And that is why we need partners. We need individuals within the community. We know that Every Man Count has agreed to be able to be one
Mhm.
of our partners. We are partnering with Year in Academy. We have a few partners that is
Mhm.
coming on board, and we still need more people because together we can make life much easier for the people
Mhm.
we're servicing in Delaware. So let's
The,
not work
the
in
more the
silos.
better. We can't limit ourselves. We need to expand so everybody groups together for these families because they
Exactly.
deserve it. They deserve that support.
Yes, just imagine you have a client and or you have a family and you ask the child, where is mom or where is dad? And she had to go out to make money. You know what that means.
Mhm.
And for individuals, it's like, okay, well, we need to take your child away. But we're not understanding the barriers that those families are facing. Instead of adding ACEs and more barriers, let us work together to
Mhm.
reduce those ACEs.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. So let us talk about what are some of the upcoming activities that Village of Hope is putting to
My favorite part.
execution. Yes, we're gonna add to the stage. Let us see, which one do we want to start with? Let us see. We can do adopt a family first.
We can do adopt a family first. That one we have the cogs moving a little bit quicker on that one. Adopt a family. We initially chose approximately 10 families between the community, and we have received so many donors that we had to take on additional families. And as we know, there are many families in need this holiday season. So we were able to adopt more than expected. So
What,
it, it's amazing. But every time I turn around, we have more and more donors, and we're able to match them up with other families, which is amazing.
Miss Heather, for
Mhm.
individuals who have gone through the DFS challenges of being
Mhm.
able to have DFS step into their lives as a result, some of those clients are very concerned. So,
Mhm.
can you explain what is adopt a family? Because some of the questions we're getting is like, what is adopt a family? Are you going to try to take my child, or what exactly it
Okay.
is?
Okay. So adopt a family is what at the holidays we it's just like when I do my adopt a mom, we gather some information regarding the families. It's information only, and we their likes, their dislikes, their needs, their wish lists, and we reach out to the community, withhold their we respect their need for to be anonymous, so we do withhold their uh, personal information, but we provide that information to donors who then go out and like spoiling the families and giving back to the community. So they go out and they do the shopping. My only request, as somebody that's been on the other side of adopt a family, I like our donors to be able to do the shopping on their own, so they don't necessarily just go down a checklist and purchase the items that are listed. That's why I ask for information about your child, because if you say your child loves football and I go out and I see a football and I know I want to pick that up for them. It might not be on their list, but that's what they'd like. Along with um, just a variety of things. But my only stipulation is no wrapping. Um, Mom and the parents in different situations, but families are disconnected from the Christmas morning process when they're just gifted items. And it's a blessing to be able to give those items to your children, but it's even more exciting to be a part of the magic. So we ask our donors to provide the wrapping materials, so this way mom or dad can still be a part of the whole process and be excited with the children Christmas morning as they see it being opened.
Okay, that sounds really, really good. So let us go in. So, in other words, adopt a family is all about being able to create or get the gifts for individuals to for families who's not able to afford it or not
Mhm.
able to
Yes.
get through with the holiday season. So we are requesting individuals, whether you're a business, whether you are individual or a family that is wanting to be able to adopt a family,
Mhm.
feel free to be able to contact us.
Mhm.
And the contact information is right here. Information will go directly to Heather Graham, who is
Mhm.
the founder of Unseen Warriors. So with that, we would need. We're trying to adopt at least 500 children,
Mhm.
not 500 families, but 500 children. If we're able to get more, that will be awesome. But we're
Right.
trying to maximize our goal, and we need everyone to be a part of that.
And that's where a lot of people kind of shy away from adopting at the holidays, because they think they have to adopt an entire family. And with Unseen Warriors, it's you can choose one individual. If you just want to adopt mom, you're more than welcome to adopt mom. If you want to adopt one child, three, we have organizations that are doing four, five, six. It's your preference. It's what's in your comfort zone. It's not, we don't set requirements as to purchases. So if you want to just spoil one little child a little extra this Christmas, you can.
Nice. I appreciate that. So let us go on to the next event. Ooh, the holiday gift drive.
Yes. Do you want to explain, or you want me to?
You're doing such a great job in explaining.
So the holiday gift drive is a little side thing off of Adopt a Family. Adopt a Family, we give the donors lists and they do the shopping. And for the holiday gift drive, we do adopt children 0 to 17. So that's why we say gift instead of just toys, because there are teenagers involved too. Because oftentimes organizations do not adopt children over the age of 12, 13 years old. So we include our teenagers because they deserve a nice Christmas too. But for the holiday gift drive, we are looking for sponsors to host boxes and keep gifts at their locations, businesses, or if people want to donate individual items, they can donate the gifts. And then we are setting up a location where families can come and do their own shopping. So they will be able to come in and pick out a couple items for their kids, take them to a separate area and wrap. And then that's where the Adopt a Mom kind of comes in also, where the children are able to shop for mom also while they're there.
Okay, so can anyone just come in, or will there be specific requirements?
There are special tickets that are going to be issued to families. So even with our Adopt a Family and with the holiday gift drive, everything is by nomination by community partners. So if there is somebody that's in need, they can reach out to Holistic Elevations or any of our other organizations that we're partnering with, and they can be nominated that way. Unfortunately, I'd love to adopt every family that has contacted me just by saying, I need help. We know that without the community support, we wouldn't be able to do it. So we just ask that the more that come, so we can keep adopting all these families that keep coming out and asking for help.
So in total, how many individuals have you or have we adopted currently?
Currently, we are up there. I don't know the exact number. I know we have,
Estimates.
for the Adopt a Family, there is approximately 50 families. And then we're still gathering information. The more the gifts and nominations come in, the more families are added to our list. So it changes every day.
Okay. So our goal is 500,
500.
and so 50 out of 500. So great.
So we need support.
Yes. So we definitely will be getting there. We definitely need all the support that we can get, even if individuals do not celebrate the Christmas holidays and the seasonal holidays. Please feel free to be able to donate, because it's not about us and our own beliefs. So it is what we can bring to other individuals that are going through hardship.
Right.
So please, whatever you're able to provide and do, we will be greatly appreciated. If you are a business and you want to adopt a family, you want to adopt a few families, I am going to do a few shout outs to certain businesses out there. I'm talking about M&T Bank, PNC Bank, Wisfas, Wells Fargo's, Chase, Bank of America. We're calling out to all of you guys to be able to join this movement. We're doing a shout out to all the school districts as well, Christina School District. We're looking at for Brandywine School District, Redcliffe School District, Seaford, all of you guys, Department of Education, Public Health, DHSS, DFS, all of you guys out there, we are literally calling out everyone out there to help out. Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, all of you guys, we are reaching out every week. As we continue to do that, we will have a list of organizations that we are going to be calling out the names that we want them to be able to participate in this movement. And it is not it is for us to be able to come together as one. And we will also be looking at other individual families that would be willing to be able to donate and to be able to help out as well. Okay, so let us go on to the next one. Oh, tell us about the primary locations.
So we do have 2 primary locations for the drop-off locations for the holiday gift drive. The first location, the main location is the new Maurice Pritchett Senior Academy in Wilmington. It is a beautiful new school, and everybody should stop by and bring a gift and visit it and see how beautiful it is. And then, of course, Holistic Elevations has also have offered to be a drop off location for it. So we just ask that everybody bring as many items as they can.
Yes. And the Morris Pritchard Senior Academy is the AKA the Bancroft School. So for
Yes.
individuals who might be saying, where is this? This is the
Yes.
new school, newly developed school that
Yes.
was once called Bancroft.
As a Bancroft parent, it was very hard. I had to remember that it's the new name. My oldest graduated from Bancroft. My middle son went to Bancroft for a couple of years before going over to a charter school. But my son was class president of his eighth grade class. Loved it at Bancroft. We had such an amazing experience, and we were a homeless family at the time while we were there. So lots of great things to say, and we're so excited to know that the school's evolving and has turned into something bigger and better.
Yes, I that sounds really, really great with everything that they've been doing. I do want to be able to let all the other schools in Newcastle throughout Delaware know that if you want to be able to put a box within your school
Mm-hmm.
for individuals to be and families to be able to drop off gifts and drop off items,
Mm-hmm.
please reach out to us and let us know because we want every possibility. If we can pass 500 individuals, that would be great. Let us do it as a community, let us do it as a unit, and let us move Delaware forward, because once we're done with this movement, we're going to continue to find ways
Mm-hmm.
to increase resources so families don't have to fall back on hard times. So our goal is to reduce or prevent poverty and increase equity within the work that we do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let us see. We are missing one more, I believe. Let us see this one, which is the Winter
This one's
Wonderland.
close to your heart. You want to talk
Yes,
about what?
I would be happy to talk about this one. So the Winter Necessity Donation Drive. This is for individuals who are displaced, who are homeless, and for Holistic Elevation, we actually have one of the rooms at the Best Nights Inn in Newcastle, where it is converted into a social service office. So for us, it will be coming up to a year since we're there. But what we found is that individuals sometimes don't have, not sometimes, many times don't have food. They don't have winter gloves. Last year, the children actually used the Dollar Tree plastic clay gloves as winter gloves to be able to play with in the snow. So we are asking individuals to be able to donate food, donate to the community over there. They love the hot chocolate. So to be able to donate food, donate clothes, donate sanitary napkins, hygienic products, anything you can think of that will be able to help in providing the warmth that is needed for that family. And part of that donation, if individuals are wanting, we're also wanting to be able to get instant pots, because families are able to have a food or cook food while they're going through, not just only canned food. If canned foods are provided, then a lot of families are having difficulties in having a can opener. So that's a challenge. But
Yep.
most importantly, the families love cooking because they're missing that within all of it. The life that they had before. So
Mm-hmm.
if we're able to provide instant pots as well, that will be greatly appreciated. But definitely the coats are needed for not just for the children, but also for the
Mm-hmm.
adults. We do have seniors over there that don't have anyone left to be able to provide support to them. They don't have anyone to call or to look after them. No agencies are there available to be able to provide them the help that is needed. So we're asking for the community to be able to provide all the support that they can for this specific donation. So there are a total of probably 6 homeless motels in the
Mm-hmm.
Newcastle area. So um, that, and in one motel, if there is 120 rooms, then just in some rooms, I would say an average of probably 4 to 5 people. So if I do the calculation very quickly, let's say 120 times 5, we're looking at 600 people
Hmm.
per motel, but that is the low number that I'm giving. So if we do times 6, we're looking at 3,600 individuals within that area. We're not calculating the others that are moving from house to house or location to
Hmm.
location that don't have a stable home, or those that are in day location where they just go in shelters, where they just sleep at those various locations, and in the
Hmm.
daytime they have to leave. So there is an increase in homelessness in Delaware and throughout the nation, and we need to be able to do what we can to help those families. So I appreciate everyone.
What is the length of time, like the average length of time that families are staying in the motels? I know typically you think only like a month, a few weeks, things like that, but is it longer than that?
Yes, you actually have families that have been homeless for over 2 years. So you have individuals that stay in the motel for, some of them are 2 years, 1 year. It's a long period because some of them don't have any other options.
Right.
And when you look at, one of the questions I hear from providers is like, how can they afford the motel and they
Hmm.
cannot afford a home? If a person understands the life cycle and the barriers an individual have to go through within the system, you cannot just go and get a house or an apartment to be able to stay in. They have to go through your background, not background check, but your credit score. You need to be able to have the finances in place for the down deposits, the security, so many other things. They have their bills to be able to pay. It is not as easy as many people think, because yes, some individuals are paying a large percentage to be able to stay in the motel, but that's the best possibility they have, because the
Hmm.
barriers that they're facing are way higher than
Hmm.
what we're thinking. So I like giving people the example of the Maslow hierarchy of needs. Many people, when they think of Maslow hierarchy of needs, they think of, hey, these basic needs are what people need. But in
Right.
reality, this is what we think that these people need. Do we stop and ask them, is that what you need? Because a person might be homeless and they rather be homeless than to stay in a place, because they probably want rather go to school, they rather be able to be with their family. There's so many other
Hmm.
barriers, because in Delaware there's not that many places that keep families together. Men have to be separated from their families. So where do they go? So these are sacrifices that people have to make because of the barriers that are also within the system itself.
Right.
So it is my heart to be able to work with the community. So as we're going through, anyone who wants to be able to come and donate, and if they want to be able to get more information, please feel free. If you want to partner with us, you can feel free to come over and partner with us, email us. We also open our doors to the community, so feel free to pass by Holistic Elevation. We're on Lancaster
Hmm.
Avenue in Wilmington, Suite 305. So please feel free. Also at the Best Night Inn, contact us and we'll be able to schedule an appointment. If you want to reach Heather, the contact information is right there. We are all wanting your support. Any last things you want to say, Heather?
Nope. Join our village. It
Yes, it takes a village. Let's
does take
move
a village.
together. Okay, with that being said, we're gonna say bye.